but the big number is that one right there. Inflation, back in 2008, was at 5%. We're now at 8.5%. Maria Bartiromo knows all about this. Maria, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Your analysis on the numbers that we have yesterday and today. How do you see it?
Hey, Bill, thanks very much. Good morning to you. Well, they are certainly better than expected and moving in the right direction. Yesterday, we saw the consumer price index come way down from what we saw in the month of June at 8.5%. That is better than the 9.1% we saw in June. Same situation today with inflation at the production level. Producers are now seeing inflation up, but not as bad as the month of June. We had a reading of up 9.8% in the month of July. That is down from the 10.4% that was expected, and certainly down from the 11% that we saw in June. So bottom line here, what we are seeing is the price of oil come down. So we were expecting a pretty good number on CPI and on PPI, because look at what happened in the month of July. Oil prices were coming off of the massive highs that we saw earlier in the year. This does not mean necessarily that inflation has peaked. However, it does indicate that things are beginning to move in the right direction for oil. Oil prices are down, but one of the reasons that oil was up was not necessarily an inflation fighting story, but more a story of an economy that is not relying on American production. So why did oil prices come down in July? I'll tell you right now, it has to do with a slowing economy. You are looking at the prospect of recession. 2 quarters of contraction is what we saw in the first and second quarter. And as a result of that contraction and a sharp slowdown of the economy and expectations of a continued slowdown rest of the year, energy demand has slowed. So people are not driving as much. People are not using as much oil. So oil prices move in supply and demand. Oil prices came down. That's good news, but that's not the whole story. Food prices are still soaring. Look at a dozen eggs. Look at the price of meat, the price of bread. We're still talking about double-digit increases year over year, and certainly increases month over month. We need to see more of the alleviating of prices on food as well as energy going forward. So I'm not ready to commit to you right now to say we have turned a corner. I don't believe so. In fact, yesterday I spoke with John Katzmatidis from Gracidis, and he said, no, producers are still charging what they're charging, and that means grocery stores are not going to let up on these high prices. So we'll probably see that inflation at the food level continue. However, you have to believe this is a positive that energy has come down so much. It's only come down, though, because of a slowing economy. The other issue in this economy is the participation rate. You know that productivity has plummeted, and we need to get people back in the workforce. That participation rate remains stuck, and that's something that we need to see as well in order to have confidence that job creation can resume the way it was in the last month.
Maria, let me play a clip for you from yesterday at the White House, right? Listen to the number. Roll it.
I just want to say a number. 0. Today, we received news that our economy had 0% inflation in the month of July. 0%. Here's what that means. While the price of some things went up last month, the price of other things went down.
How is that message being received at 0?
Well, it's being received as if it's a joke. I mean, the truth is, Bill, this is more misinformation and disinformation. We are looking at inflation up 8.5%, and on a producer level, higher than that. So we do have 8.5% inflation at a time that wages are growing much lower. Inflation is still cutting into people's ability to spend money that they're earning. The president is calling it zero inflation. It's just not true. That's not the way people look at inflation. That is not the way it's measured. It's measured year over year to have a clear understanding of how prices are different year over year. So we're right now running at an inflation rate of 8.5%. Certainly not 0. It's unbelievable, though, that the Democrats can get away with coming up with a $700 billion revenue package and call it an Inflation Reduction Act. That's the same thing as calling inflation 0.
How about that for advertising? Maria, nice to see you. Thanks for your analysis. We'll call you again real soon. Maria Bartiromo, thank you.
You got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.